One of Israel ambassador in Nigeria have addressed the media and also remember those who are protesting against Israel. They are fighting terrorists as well in Nigeria, so they have a right to defend themselves. Hello my wonderful people, welcome back to Balabas Gist. If today is the first time you are coming across this wonderful channel, you are highly welcome back. If you know that you have not subscribed to this channel, please kindly go and subscribe to the channel immediately for a quick update as it is hot. No be smart, you know. Things are happening all over the world as we are speaking. Before we go on into the latest ogbonge news where we get for hand today, please, if you have never turned your notification bell, please kindly go and turn it on YouTube so that you're gonna get our update back to back as it is hot. The matter where we get for hand today now concerning Israel. Things are going on in Israel. So as they look, say one of their ambassadors already for Nigeria don't come outside, go and address the media. Also tell them say the fight where Israel they fight is against terrorists. Since Nigeria refused to fight their own terrorists and start chasing IPOB and ESN, then they are not chasing shadow, they are fighting the terrorists straight. And as you can see, a few days ago, there is a protest going on in Abuja. You know, the Muslims in Nigeria, like some of them don't think proper because of lack of so many things. So anything that happen anywhere in the world, once you concern Muslim, they not take it upon themselves is also a Muslim matter. The same thing that make terrorists slaughter them in the north. And instead of the government to fight the terrorists, they now channel the power Operation Udoka to Southeast, Operation this in Southeast, start killing our youths. And we are going to play you the video for you to watch what this ambassador said. And before we come back and proceed, truth must be told. If you like, knock your head for floor.
This is about good and evil. This is about civilization and barbarism. Either you stand with people who are defending themselves, or you stand with those who cut the heads off babies. That's what this is about. It's not about anything else. Okay? We are in Nigeria at the moment, and unfortunately Nigeria has also known terrorism. You know what it's like when terror groups like Boko Haram kidnap young girls. There's never a reason for it except for hate. When terrorists blow up the United Nations building here in Abuja, there's no reason for it except for hate. This is not about religion. This is not about Islam or Judaism or Christianity. This is about evil and good. These Hamas terrorists are not acting in the name, they're using the name of Islam. But there is no Muslim, and I have spoken to many, many Muslims, imams, religious leaders who have expressed their shock and their outrage and their disgust of what we've seen, because they know that this gives a bad name to anybody who is claiming to be doing this in the name of Islam, and they're not. And it should be really, really clear that this is really nothing to do with that. So Israel is going to do what it needs to do in the coming days and weeks in order to destroy Hamas. Because if you want peace and you want to see an accommodation between Israelis and Palestinians, then Hamas can have no part of that. These are not people who you have peace with. I remind you of two other things. That in 1993 we signed the Oslo Accords, which was meant to be a new age of peace with Israel and the Palestinians. The first people to reject that were Hamas. Hamas were the ones who say there can never be peace, there can never be anything but the destruction of Israel, the death of all Israelis, the death of all Jews. And those people who say, well, maybe this is about occupation. In 2005, Israel left the Gaza Strip. Every single soldier, every single civilian left. Every single one, every single Israeli. So this is not about that. This is not about it at all in any way whatsoever. And we as a people are in shock. We are in mourning. And anybody who tries to justify this, I think that is clear to all of us, that anyone who won't condemn this, anyone who won't come out in a clear voice condemning this, needs to ask where their moral compass is. Because if you can't loudly and clearly condemn the murder of nearly 1,000 civilians, of cutting off the heads of babies. There was a music festival that was taking place in the south there. A music festival. Okay, a great music festival where young people, teenagers were partying. And along came Hamas and gunned them down. Over 260 young partygoers were murdered in the middle of a party. There are reports of these terrorists raping women in front of their boyfriends and then killing them all. This was deliberate massacre on a mass scale, and it's important that you all understand that, and it's important that we understand that this is what we've been dealing with. I'm going to take some questions if people have got questions on this, and then I would like to show you some pictures. Before we go on to the questions, I am going to show, again, I ask you not to show your cameras at this yet. We're about to show you some pictures. These are incredibly disturbing pictures, and I need you to understand, and you can look away, but I would encourage you not. These are people who were gunned down in the street. Can you press play? We can provide you with... We will choose which pictures, because I don't want them all going out. Okay, some of them have been blurred, but some of them haven't. This is the party. It's a bus stop. Old women, Holocaust survivors, waiting at a bus stop. One of the babies. Okay. I think it's very difficult, I understand, to see those pictures. And if I tell you, we haven't shown you the worst. We haven't shown you even close to the worst. Some of the things that I have seen in the last 48 hours, I will never recover from that. I will see those every night when I go to sleep, probably for the rest of my life. They are the most horrific pictures I have ever seen. And I will tell you that they remind me of the darkest days of even the Holocaust, some of the things that were done. Okay, when we talk about Hamas, these things we haven't seen since ISIS. Okay, Hamas is ISIS. You have to understand that. Hamas is ISIS. That's who they are, and that's how we have to treat them. I'm open for questions. Everyone will get to. I will answer every question.
Okay, the US Secretary General has come out to talk about the fact that they would not like the war to continue because they want the rules of war respected, which includes not killing women and children. And you say that in Israel, trying to defend itself against this, there's been cases or reports of children also killed on the Palestinian side. I don't know how you want to react to this, or what. I need to listen to the statement of the terrorists, so if you have any reaction to what he said.
I will tell you this, we are going to wage a war against Hamas now, and I want to be very clear. War is a dirty game, and war is a terrible thing. But sometimes it's necessary. This is one of those cases where it's necessary and where it's justified. We will do everything we can to avoid civilian casualties. We will do everything we can. But civilians will get killed, and we should prepare ourselves for that. The difference is this, that in countries like Israel, in countries like Nigeria, we have an army that protects us. We have an army whose job is to stand in front of the civilians. First you have the army, then you have the civilians. The army is on the front line. Hamas are the opposite. They take the civilians and they put them in front of them. Hamas operate out of schools. Their major headquarters are under the hospital in Gaza. They have taken our kidnapped Israeli citizens, babies as young as 6 months old, and said they will put them in front of them when they are fighting against Israelis. They've said they are going to go on live TV and kill them on live TV. So there's a going in this war. We will do everything we can to avoid civilian casualties because it doesn't do anybody it doesn't do any long-term good for anyone like that. We will do everything we can, but I need to be clear: civilians will die. There is no war that ever takes place where you surgically are able to only kill the enemy, especially when they're terrorists who are deliberately hiding behind civilians.
Excellency,
I will take every single question, I promise.
Your Excellency, we know so well that war is the most expensive engagement any nation can battle with. And we know the implication in the cost of war. What frameworks are there to ensure that this does not impact on the economy of Israel, does not really impact on the life of the people? What other alternatives are you imposing to support the people and avoid repercussion on this case of Israel?
Look, there will be economic implications of a war. War is expensive primarily in human costs, but it's also economically expensive. And we've had to fight a few wars in the past, but our economy has always recovered because ultimately the long-term terror threat from Hamas is much more dangerous economically and to the long-term survival of an economically viable Israel than it is to not being there. So we will do what we need to do. We will take the economic hit in the short run to know that in the long run we will bounce back, that our economy is strong, our economy is stable. But at this point we're not thinking about the economy. We're thinking about the nearly 1,000 Israelis who were murdered in cold blood on the streets as they walked around, as they stood at bus stops, as they sat in their homes. And we will make sure that never, ever happens again.
I will be happy if you watch this video from beginning to end. Very, very important. You see, what is going on in Nigeria is something that you are experiencing within this Israel and the Palestinian, Hamas, or whatever those Arabs that are fighting Israel right now. The Christians are being killed in this, although they will say it's not a religion, but their own in Nigeria is a religion. No? It's religion. Just look at immediately this thing started happening. Israel have not ever do anything. They never retaliated or they never bombed any city in Palestine. The Nigerians have started protesting against Israel. You see, they have think is a Muslim thing. Why those people over there are saying they are fighting for their land that Israel occupy, but in Nigeria, in those ones in the street, they are protesting. Their head is Muslim. You see the mentality of the country where we are living inside. I want you to share this video. Very, very important. Share this video, and also subscribe to this channel. We'll see you for the next update.